Billy Luna.
Ah, just another day in the neighborhood, huh? Snuffy Luffy, what's up, buddy? How you doing? So I got a little word back that you're running your fat little mouth. Again. You can't read and write. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send over a hooked on phonics thing for you so you can learn. Yeah. So we could teach you. So you can do something besides going, Joey's Cheesesteak place. Oh my God, you got to try this sandwich. All you do is eat all day, you fat little slob.
Former Bonanno Family Enforcer Gene Borrello versus alleged Philadelphia Mafia Boss Skinny Joey Merlino. We are going to take you through the latest update in the beef and the impending fight at Skinny Joey's Cheesesteak shop in South Philly. We will show you the most recent statements from both camps. Then we will give you all the background and details about Skinny Joey Merlino's new Paetron drop. But first, the Gene Borrello Skinny Joey Merlino back and forth.
Please subscribe to the Billy Luna channel and like the video. Thank you.
Don't forget to let me know what you think in the comments.
Billy Luna.
All right, I want to say, if Crazy Phil comes into the steak shop, you going to give him a cheesesteak?
Yeah. Yeah, tell him to come.
Someone who goes by P asks the following question of Skinny Joey Merlino. Gene would never show up. He was/is a nobody in Queens and only beats up on women.
You're right about that. He went to Queens one time. You seen the video? Go back and watch the podcast. They were chasing him. He was screaming, call the cops.
Near the end of the video, I'm going to give you Billy Luna's latest inside hot take on the hostilities between Gene Borrello and Joey Merlino. You all know that only Billy Luna has all the inside details, so stay tuned till the end of the video.
We're going to talk about Danny from Angelo's Operation Slapshot. James Harney's coming on to tell his story and the truth.
I got the guy he put in jail here, live. And if you don't like, you don't think it's the truth, Danny, whatever, Angel, what the thing, Danny, sue me, because everything I said is the truth.
Billy Luna.
This week on Skinny Joey Merlino's Patreon, his guest is James Harney, a former New Jersey State Trooper who alleges that the owner of Angelo's Pizzeria in South Philly, Danny G., wore a wire to help convict the former state trooper. Of course, Angelo's South Philly Pizzeria is quite well known and popular. The popularity of Angelo's Pizza was boosted when Barstool Sports honcho Dave Portnoy gave its pizza a monster 9.1 out of 10 ranking on his One Bite Pizza review. Danny is also a business partner of superstar Bradley Cooper. I'm going to break down this entire story for you, starting with the sentencing of former New Jersey State Trooper James Harney back in 2007. A disgraced New Jersey State Trooper who ran a high-stakes sports gambling ring with retired NHL bruiser Rick Tocchet was slapped with a 5-year prison sentence Friday, but could be out in just 1 year. James Hardy, then 41, the former trooper turned bookie, took the fall as the biggest fish reeled in during Operation Slapshot, the 2006 scandal that rocked pro hockey and splashed Wayne Gretsky's family into tabloid headlines. While Tocchet, then an assistant coach with the Phoenix Coyotes, grabbed headlines for his ties to the ring, Harney was the real engine behind the multi-million-dollar betting operation, prosecutors alleged. Harney cut a deal with the state in August 2006, pleading guilty to conspiracy, promoting gambling, and official misconduct. He faced up to 7 years behind bars, but got a sweet break for spilling to authorities. Though prosecutors said his cooperation was, quote, good but not extraordinary. Quote, because he was a public official, he needed to be held accountable, said Judge Thomas S. Smith, who refused to go below the mandatory 5-year minimum for second-degree crimes. Harney, stone-faced and silent, except for a few yes and no answers, showed little emotion as he was led out of court. His lawyer, Craig Mitnick, argued that Harney's detailed cooperation helped prosecutors build their case and likely forced guilty pleas from Tocchet and a third man, James Ulmer. Authorities say the ring moved $1.7 million in wagers in just the 40 days before the charges were filed, including massive action on the Super Bowl and college bowl games. The case exploded in February 2006 when word got out that several gamblers had ties to the NHL. The only name ever confirmed? Janet Jones Gretsky, the wife of the Great One. But authorities were quick to say neither she nor any other bettors would face charges. No evidence ever surfaced of bets on hockey games, but the scandal sent shockwaves through the league. Tocchet was placed on indefinite leave from his coaching role with Gretzky's Coyotes.
Near the end of the video, I'm going to give you Billy Luna's latest inside hot take on the hostilities between Gene Borrello and Joey Merlino. So stay tuned till the end of the video.
And then about Angelo's. I'm not bad mouth. Listen, Angelo's been open 6 years. I don't know how long, right? Yeah. I used to play gin down the street. He was half a block from us. I never ate his pizza or his cheesesteak ever. I'm not here to badmouth his food. Angelo's a rat, 1,000%. 1,000%. And he said, well, I can't print that because he could get sued. Yeah. That's what the writer said. Or the editor, I don't know. And that's what I told him. And that's the reason I don't go there. Yeah. So I don't know how food is. And I know the whole, listen, it's a fact he's a rat. Listen, the worst thing you do is call somebody a rat. I'm not going to say it if I have nothing to back it up. And I'm going to back it up. I'm going to have the guy he ratted on the podcast when I go back to Philly next month. And then you'll hear from the guy. He wore a wire on the guy. Listen, Hal, I remember it. It was called, I remember I had the article. What was it? Operation Slapshot. I was in jail. I was in Macquarie. I said this story in the podcast. Yeah. I'm in my cell, 9 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning. I'm sleeping. Three homies from Philly come and get me up. I'm sleeping. Joe, you're on ESPN. I'm like, what the f***? What am I doing on ESPN? Me on ESPN for what? And I went down. We had to put the earphones on to listen. They had my picture. They had Operation Slapshot. Tocchet, Gretzky's wife, Gretsky, 2 state troopers, this big gambling ring in Philly. And they said they blame me. I was in charge. Fuck, I'm in jail. I don't know none of the people. The lieutenant calls me down. He started asking me about it. I said, I don't know what you told. He said, I'll put you in a hole. He put me in a hole for like 5 days. I said, I don't put me in a hole. Yeah. So that's how I remember it. And then I remember reading the articles about it. There was an article about it, that he wore a wire and all that shit. But listen, I know for a fact he is. Yeah. I'm not hating him. He's a rat. I guess the guy didn't want to write it. I don't know. Listen, they protect him. Everybody protects him, these informants. They're afraid to write about him. I told him about him, Ralph, Horshead, Roger, Tashi, Pat, a million people. They don't write it. No. He said he was going to write it.
They only write what they want.
He says, are you sure? I said, I'm 100% sure. He said, well, this is the writer, Victor. He said, they could sue me for calling him a rat. I said, you didn't call him a rat. I did. And I'm 1,000% sure. You're going to hear from the guy. The guy, he wore a wire on the guy 2 times. I'm going to have the guy on the show. The guy will tell you everything. So I didn't make this up. Yeah. This ain't made up.
Okay. So all of these stories and all of this kind of beef with the guy who owns Angelo's, Danny, revolves around this investigation called Operation Slapshot. Now, this was an investigation by the New Jersey State Police Department. And so Joey was in prison, and he says that he was awakened, and he went and he saw that he was on ESPN. That's what they're talking about. Let me break down this Operation Slapshot for you a little bit further. Wayne Gretsky's wife and about a half dozen NHL players allegedly placed bets. This was like early in 2006. They basically, alleged that Joey was the mastermind behind this whole thing, even though he's in prison. But this is what went down. Wayne Gretsky's wife and about a half a dozen NHL players allegedly placed bets, but not on hockey, with a nationwide sports gambling ring financed by Phoenix Coyotes assistant coach Rich Tocchet. That's what authorities said. At the request of NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman, Tocchet did not attend a Coyotes game against the Blackhawks back in 2006. In a statement, the Coyotes said Tocchet was, quote, flying back east this evening to address the allegations in a meeting with the NHL Commissioner Bettman. Lieutenant Colonel Frank Rogers of the New Jersey State Police told ESPN2's Cold Pizza that he did not know if or when Tocchet would turn himself into police. Quote, my understanding is he'll contact us today. We look forward to speaking to him in depth on the matter, Rogers said early Wednesday morning. Phoenix lost this game that Tocchet missed without Tocchet 3-1, whatever. Gretsky, hockey's greatest player, was in his first season, this is back in 2006, coaching the Coyotes, and was a part owner of the team. Gretzky's wife, actress Janet Jones, was among those implicated. Very, very exquisitely beautiful woman. 2 law enforcement officials told the Associated Press, speaking on condition of anonymity because no bettors have been publicly identified. This whole thing is so fascinating because it revolves around gambling. And this is back in 2006 when it was such a crime. Now, of course, it's... the major sports leagues are involved in it, and it's completely legal. So it's very interesting to kind of analyze these things through the passage of time. New Jersey State Police Superintendent Colonel Rick Fuentes said a 4-month undercover investigation dubbed Operation Slapshot into the New Jersey-based ring discovered the processing of more than 1,000 wagers exceeding $1.7 million in total in a 40-day period. The bets were placed on professional and college sports, mostly football and basketball. Fuentes declined to identify the NHL players who made the wagers, but said none bet on hockey. Rogers, Deputy Superintendent of Investigations with New Jersey State Police, confirmed to TSN of Canada, that 12 NHL players or people closely associated with NHL clubs, including a team owner and a member of one coaching staff, a tally Rogers said was in addition to Tocchet, placed bets with the ring. He would not say whether any of the bettors with ties to the NHL bet on hockey. The investigation also revealed alleged ties to the Bruno Scarfo crime family in Philadelphia and southern New Jersey, authorities said. John Haggerty, spokesman for the New Jersey Division of Criminal Justice, told ESPN.com that those being investigated for making bets through the ring are, quote, all over the country and Canada as well. Lieutenant Gerald Lewis of the New Jersey State Police Public Information Office told ESPN that other athletes, some retired and some active, would be interviewed, but he wouldn't say how many are connected to the NHL. Lewis said the interest in talking to the people who are placing bets is to determine whether if there was an illegality on the part of the bettors and to try to learn more about the scope of the betting operation. He said the NHL had not been contacted during the investigation, even though the league has a security arm that tries to educate players about potential legal problems. He said the state police were under no obligation to share their information with the league before the laying of charges. Lewis said that he would hope that at some point the NHL would investigate. The developments came at a sensitive time for the NHL back in 2006, which was trying to win back fans after a season-long lockout and just days before many of the league's best players were going to showcase their talent at the Torino Olympics. Quote, we understand that Mr. Tocchet's conduct in no way involved betting on hockey, NHL Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly said. And while betting on football or other sports may be the pervasive issue, it in no way justifies poor judgment or otherwise alleged inappropriate conduct. Speaking after the league's general managers adjourned their meeting Tuesday, Bettman said, I have retained Robert Cleary, who is a former U.S. attorney from New Jersey, to do an internal investigation for us, and I'll be meeting with him first thing tomorrow morning. Quote, in response to the allegations against Coyotes associate coach Rick Tocchet, and consistent with club policy, the Phoenix Coyotes organization declines further comment on the situation until definitive information becomes available. Team president and COO Douglas Moss said in a statement, quote, the focus of the Coyotes organization is to continue our drive for a playoff position. Tocchet was served with a criminal complaint Monday and was expected to travel from his Arizona home to answer charges of promoting gambling, money laundering, and conspiracy, Fuentes said. A criminal complaint informs Tocchet of authorities' intention to charge him formally and the need for him to arrange to travel to New Jersey for formal charging or face arrest. Haggerty said that all charges are in the second degree that all carry a maximum 10-year sentence. This is so funny because this doesn't exist anymore. Earlier Tuesday, Gretsky said that Tocchet would be on the bench for the Coyotes' home game against Chicago, and it would be, quote, business as usual. But Bettman changed that plan, summoning Tocchet to a meeting in New York City. Quote, everyone in the world is innocent until proven guilty, Gretsky said. He's a great guy and a good friend. He's just going through a tough time right now, obviously, and we've got to let it run its course. It's a situation that's obviously a concern for the organization at this point. Gretsky went on to further say, the sad thing about this whole scenario is that Rick is a wonderful person and a great guy, so I hope everything works out in his favor. It's hard because I love the guy. He's a great guy, you know. I just hope it all works out for him. Gretsky said his wife was in California. The two talked, he said, but she did not speak about any involvement she may have had. Quote, we didn't get into it other than she was concerned about Rick and she felt it was a tough situation with him, Gretsky said, and she would sit down at some point and answer questions that everybody has for her and be on her own person. Gretsky said absolutely not when asked whether she had placed bets for him. Quote, I'm standing here trying to answer questions, and it's not even me this is about, Gretsky said to reporters. It's the frustrating hard part for me, but I understand. I'm a big boy, and you guys have a responsibility and a job to do, and that's fine. Except for trips to Las Vegas, Gretsky said he's no gambler. Tocchet acknowledged that a New Jersey state trooper arrested in connection with the gambling ring case is his friend. Tocchet said that he would cooperate with the investigation, but didn't answer when asked whether he'd surrender to authorities. Authorities said Tocchet and the state trooper James Harney were partners in the operation, with the ex-NHL forward providing the financing. Quote, Tocchet receives illegal sports bets from wagers and funneled money back to New Jersey, Fuentes said. Tocchet, one of 3 associate coaches on the Coyotes staff, took over the head coaching duties for 10 days in December while Gretsky was with his dying mother. Tocchet, who was 41 back in 2006, played 18 years with 6 teams, including 3 seasons with the Coyotes from 1997 to 2000. He is one of only 4 players in NHL history to collect 400 goals and 2,000 penalty minutes. Tocchet was a fan favorite during his 2 stints with the Philadelphia Flyers between 1984 and 1992, then from 2000 to 2002. Star Flyers center Peter Forsberg on Tuesday described Tocchet as a, quote, good guy, a funny guy. Quote, I think everybody is surprised, Forsberg said. It's definitely not good for the sport to hear something like that. Flyers forward Simon Gagne played briefly with Tocchet in Philadelphia and called him one of the best guys I knew. Harney, 40, was arrested Monday and has been suspended from the force. The 8-year police veteran was charged in an arrest warrant with official misconduct, promoting gambling, money laundering, and conspiracy. Another man accused of taking bets is James Ulmer, 40, who is charged with promoting gambling, money laundering, and conspiracy. Harney and Ulmer were free after posting 10% of their bail. Harney had a $100,000 bail. Ulmer had a $50,000 bail. The 2 men were expected to be arraigned in New Jersey State Superior Court in Burlington County within 2 weeks. That was back in 2006. Craig Mitnick, a lawyer representing Harney, said that his client hadn't decided whether to contest the charges in court. The police investigation into the ring started in October 2005 after authorities received a tip claiming that Harney was performing sports wagering from his Marlton home and that he was taking phone calls during his patrol job based out of the agency's Morristown station. Fuentes did not disclose the bettors' names and said charges against more individuals were possible. He described one of them as a, quote, movie celebrity. Starting Monday night, authorities seized property from Harney and Ulmer. State police seized $27,000 in currency, quote, voluminous amounts of sports betting information, and bank accounts worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, Fuentes said. A search of Harney's house recovered more than $250,000 worth of Rolex watches and 9 plasma screen televisions, including 2 from his bathroom. Wow, 2 in the bathroom, that's pretty good. Back in 2006. In 1,144 NHL regular season games, Tocchet had 440 goals, 512 assists, and 2,972 penalty minutes with Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Los Angeles, Boston, Washington, and Phoenix. Tocchet won a Stanley Cup with the Penguins in 1992 and appeared in the Stanley Cup Finals with Philadelphia in 1987. He appeared in 4 NHL All-Star games in 1989, 1990, 1991, and 1993. The NHL veteran, who according to the Philadelphia Inquirer listed The Godfather as his favorite movie in the Flyers' 2000-2001 media guide, was hired by the Avalanche as an assistant coach in 2003. Now, this report, of course, was written in conjunction with, that I'm reading to you, was written in conjunction with ESPN, in conjunction with the Associated Press. So, now, this guy, Tocchet, Joey, this whole case is the case that Joey talks about, that they tried to kind of say he was the mastermind behind this case. Now, Joey has also stated that he wants Tocchet to come to be the coach of the Flyers. Sounds like a good idea, man. I think that would be actually really good for the Flyers.
Just another day in the neighborhood, huh? Snuffy Luffy, what's up, buddy? How you doing? So I got a little word back that you're running your fat little mouth. Again. You can't read and write. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send over a hooked on phonics thing for you so you can learn. Yeah. So we can teach you. So you can do something besides going, Joey's Cheesesteak place. Oh my God, you gotta try this sandwich. All you do is eat all day, you fat little slob. Is there anything else you don't do? You're always stuffing your face with something. Your teeth look like you've been chewing on rocks for like the last 6 months. Now you want to borrow the other cheesesteak place guy, huh? Huh, Joe? You want to pick on him now? Yeah, big tough guy in South Philly. Bothering Angelo now? Why, because his place is better than yours? You got Snuff promoting like 7 different places. This is the best cheesesteak place ever. Whoever paid this guy a friggin' dime. Oh my God. 2 hookers selling your souls, huh? God damn, man. Go find a new gig, bro. That thing is getting played out. You keep on doing podcasts about rats and all this stuff. You're a rat. You're on YouTube. Little Snuff. Guy's never been in a fist fight. You got this poor guy sitting next to you. You're going to put this guy in danger with everybody. He can't protect you forever, Snuffy. What happens when you run into people that he's talking about and they beat the shit out of you? Then what? Then what? What do you do? Who are you going to run to? The cops? Probably.
Someone who goes by P asks the following question of Skinny Joey Merlino. Gene would never show up. He was/is a nobody in Queens and only beats up on women.
You're right about that. He went to Queens one time. You seen the video? Go back and watch the podcast. They were chasing him. He was screaming, call the cops.
If Gene rolls into the cheesesteak shop and pops off, perhaps grabs little Snuff by the throat and drags him across the counter, that would turn very ugly very quickly. I would not advise pulling something like that in South Philly. Joey is dead serious about this because he perceives that one of his people, little Snuff, has been threatened physically. Something I'll tell you that I know about Joey is that A, he is a genuine tough guy, a gangster through and through, and B, loyalty is a religion to Joey. Little Snuff is kind of like a little nephew to him. And Joey's the kind of guy that gets really serious if you ever threaten or lay a finger on one of his people. Gene and Joey are both gangsters, both tough guys. I know Joey. He won't back down. It doesn't matter how big a guy is. If Joey or his people are threatened and it's on, Joey would fight a guy 5 times bigger than himself. By the same token, Gene is the same way. An immovable object versus an irresistible force. Boom. Joey is not just from South Philly. He is a part of South Philly. He is connected to the streets physically and spiritually. The current beef on social media is benefiting all parties involved. It is giving both sides more clicks and boosting both Joey's and Gene's channels. The beef is also promoting Skinny Joey's Cheesesteak shop. As we all know, there is no such thing as bad publicity. If it gets violent, it will get really ugly and will have a negative result for all involved. But we all have to admit, it makes for great content. What do you all think? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe to both the Skinny Joey Merlino and Gene Borrello social media and YouTube pages. All links are in the video description. Of course, like this video. Subscribe to the Billy Luna channels and share with your pals. This is Miles Nazarian for the Billy Luna channel.
Billy Luna.
Please subscribe to the Billy Luna channel and like the video. Thank you.